Hello, so today I'm going to introduce you to a new subscription box. I am giving Crochet Society a try. Now, we really haven't gotten off to the best start as of yet. It's been a real, dare I say, pain in my butt. So basically, the drama goes something like this. Back in the early part of December, I ordered several boxes, as well as getting on their subscription list. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know who dropped the ball, but they somehow lost my order in the mix. So by the time it became obvious to them weeks later that I'm still waiting for this order of these boxes, a couple of the boxes were no longer available, which was incredibly frustrating to me. Moreover, one of the boxes that was supposed to be paired up with the box, with your first subscription box, because basically they give you, as a gift for subscribing, they give you another box. So it's a box that is of the same value, and typically maybe the month before, or if they have extra boxes from previous months, they give you the option to pick one of those boxes to go with your brand new subscription. So I did that, but then they notified me like several weeks later, oh, sorry, there was a terrible mistake. We can't give you the box that's supposed to come as your free gift. But what we will do is we'll give you the very first box we ever created. Well, that was a problem for me because I ordered that first box, and the only reason I ordered that first box was because it was like $20. It was greatly reduced, greatly discounted. And these boxes aren't cheap. And then you throw in the shipping on top of it. So I expected a little better customer service. And then what really pissed me off was when I responded to the email telling me that I wasn't going to get the gift box that they said I would get, because, for whatever reason. They didn't really give me a reason. They just said it was a mistake. But I needed to explain to them, no, I already ordered this other box you want to give me for free. I ordered it. I paid for it. It's supposed to be on the way. So maybe you can just give me another box. Maybe you've got another box somewhere that is going to work for me, or rather at least take the place of, and I'll take whatever you got. Just send it my way, whatever. Well, I couldn't send the email. They had broken the link. So I don't know if they just didn't want to hear from the rash of people who they were going to now tell that they were going to give them a lesser valued box for their subscription, or if there were just too many people flooding the server. I'm not sure, but I did manage to find another way to contact them, another email address to contact their customer service. And I'm glad I did, because within a couple of hours, that link to that email was also broken. So that server was not accepting any through emails. You would just get one of those bounce backs, a daemon failure thing that they give you when there's a broken link to an email or a website or a whatever. So I at least got that. So it took them, oh my gosh, it took them like 3 days to finally get back to me and say, well, this is what we did. We're just going to refund you the money on the couple of boxes that you're not going to, that we no longer have. Oh, and by the way, sorry, your order got stuck in the computer. They literally told me my order got stuck in the computer, and I'm not really sure what that means, or or who dropped the ball, but I was a little frustrated and I was a little pissed. And then they told me that they were just going to refund me the money for that first box, and they were going to send me that first box as my gift. So I'm not getting a box that is of a similar value to what anyone else might be getting, going forward, because I've seen, there are other, they still have the deal. You order your subscription, and then you get typically like last month's box to go with it, right? They have those available. So that's all good, and that's good for people going forward. But for those of us who got caught up in this debacle, we're not being given any kind of a, any kind of a choice. They're just giving us whatever leftover they happen to have. And it's the first box. So it's not exactly a box anyone's, pounding down doors for. So, like, okay, we'll just wait and see what happens. I should have maybe a couple of other boxes coming. And see, that was the weird thing too. So this box right here, this was my subscription box. This is the actual box I'm supposed to be getting this subscription time. And for Crochet Society, they do their boxes every other month. And I've been, and it's been probably 7 weeks that I've been trying to get them to, waiting for these other boxes that I ordered. I mean, okay, some of them weren't 7 weeks. Like the first 1 or 2 of them was like 7 weeks ago, right? And then there are a couple others that happened like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. And of course, they didn't tell me that there was any kind of an issue at all until like, several weeks after I'd already ordered the boxes. So the whole thing's a mess. I am not happy with this company. I don't feel like they care. I feel like they're just kind of half-assing everything. And it's too bad because I have such high hopes for this box. So what was weird was they sent me this month's box, right? And this would have been like the last box I should have gotten in my mind, and I'm still waiting for the other boxes. And at this point, I'm not even sure which of the boxes I'm getting. I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be getting, 2 or 3 of them, and I already know in my mind, or at least I think I remember in my mind, it's been so long, which ones I'm supposed to be getting. But guess what? I haven't gotten them yet. So I'm not really sure what the deal is or what the holdup is, and I'm really kind of pissed off. And so I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a few more weeks. I'm going to give it another week, and if they don't get back, if I don't get those other boxes here in another week, I guess I'll try to talk to their customer service again. I've got like a string of emails of just trying to contact them and talk to them, and I've been spoken to twice, but I've sent like 5 different emails. It's freaking ridiculous. And I'm really sorry to have to say this because I really hate having to deal with this stuff and go into this kind of nonsense. I mean, the boxes come from like a major publishing company in Europe, or at least they're affiliated with a major publishing company. So you think they'd have things better put together than this. So I don't know what's going on. I'd like to just say, shit happens and it was a mistake. But the response that I've gotten in the weeks of waiting just, it doesn't endear me to this company, not in the least. But now that I've gone on my tirade and this long drama-filled escapades of dealing with customer service for a crochet box, we'll get to the crochet box. So this is Crochet Society. Now, I know they've had some problems in the past or some kind of drama surrounding one of their major designers or the major designer. I don't know. I don't care. I just want the box. And, whatever's going on politically or not politically or however you're restructuring your company, that's fine, But I guess this happened months and months ago. So truly, I have no idea what was going on during the months of November and December. But okay, so here we are. Coming into February, I got my January box. Now, for a Crochet Society box, I really have to say, the boxes are beautiful, right? They've got this gold foil. The colors are beautiful. This box is going to match with, I guess, the hook. And, so they really do a good job kind of playing matchy-matchy and just making the whole thing, bringing it up that extra notch. And so that's all right. And the box itself, that I got, it did come in really good shape, and the box is super sturdy. So I can probably use the box for storage too. So that's okay as well. I guess the big thing with a Crochet Society box is that it's closed with Velcro, and Everyone likes to open it up to get that Velcro sound. Oh, see, there you go. And then you open it up and it's pretty on the inside, and you know, and it has its little saying on the inside of the box, and that's all right. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the camera angle so that we can go through the box and see what all comes with this kit. So the first thing we get is the book, and the book is pretty substantial, I guess. It's a, you know, it's an actual little book. And of course, this is for the January box. And I don't really understand what their shipping is like, but here in the States, I guess I can expect to wait, you know, at least 3 weeks before I see the box once they ship. So, you know, so each box, if I choose to continue with Crochet Society, each box that I share with you is probably going to be closer to the next month over from the time that I'm supposed to receive it. So, for example, it's a January box, but we're going to be into February in the next day or so. So, you know, that's just what I understand I'm going to expect from the company in terms of shipping time being here in the States. So we open up the book, and it gives us a little bio of the person who who curated the box. And so this person is Anita Gibney. And then they go into these different like apps that they have available. And then we get into the table of contents. So for this, the way I understand it is these right here are going to be patterns that I'm given in this book. And I haven't really looked at the yarns yet. I'll bring them out and we'll look at them together. But they give you enough materials to make some of these patterns. So this one right here that says bonus, it's basically just the pattern. But here, the Restore handbag or the Reflect and Refresh set, it's basically a scarf and, oops, sorry, you didn't see that, did you? It's basically a scarf and fingerless glove set. And then this little amigurumi elephant. So what they've done is they've given me yarn enough to make one of these 3 projects. And what's kind of cool is, so for the amigurumi, if I chose to make that, they gave me like the stuffing and also the safety eyes. Now for the scarf and fingerless glove set, there's nothing really, you know, they don't need to give you anything for that because it's really just the yarn. Let's start pulling out some of this yarn before we move on any farther. So the yarn that they're giving us is, it looks like it's cotton. Yeah, it's 100% sport weight cotton. So I can already tell you I am not going to make a scarf or gloves from cotton, from 100% cotton. That's just not that's not going to be my thing. It's not, the reason why I would wear these is because I want to stay warm, and cotton isn't going to do that for me. So they give you lots of yarn, all these great colors. I understand these are 30-gram yarns. I'm already having a bit of an issue with this because there's a kind of a slight mildewy smell to the yarn that I'm not liking. I don't know if it's the yarn or if it's, hold on, let me check something out here. Or if it's this other bag. See, they gave me this bag, and in the bag, oh yeah, no, it's whatever in the bag. And this is the plastic, the PLU pieces for the purse if I choose to make the purse. So the bag is really gross smelling. And the plastic or the faux leather or whatever it is that's in it has a very strong kind of mildewy and kind of a chemically smell to it. So that's not making me happy. I'll just have to set these aside and let them air out to see if I can even, to see if they'll get better. This right here, yeah, this right here are the findings, or sorry, not the findings, but the safety eyes for the elephant if I choose to make the elephant. They give me a 3mm hook. And it looks like it's been made with like, the handle is made from like a Nemo kind of clay in a print to match the box. And okay, I mean, it is what it is. You can totally see the seam coming up along the edge where the clay was folded over to make the handle for the hook. I'm not sure how far the shaft of this hook goes down. I mean, it's unique, but the quality of it isn't getting me very excited. Also, they include a little stitch marker. So this is just a nice little lobster claw, silicone, I think it's silicone, little stitch marker. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this yarn. So these yarns are in 30-gram skeins, and for your 30 grams, you're going to get 90 meters. So this is a hand wash only. You can use an iron on this, and you can dry clean. So you're really not to wash it, and do not tumble dry. So basically, you're going to lay this flat to dry. So it looks like it's cotton. It feels okay. It's not the softest cotton I've ever worked with, but it's not terrible. So let me see if we get a colorway. No, maybe oh wait, I see it. So the colorway of this one is mango. And this one is elderberry. The colors are pretty. And this one is passion fruit. Got two more passion fruits. Got another elderberry. And this one is lychee. And then we got dragon fruit. And then we've got coconut. Now, the yarn itself doesn't smell like mildew. I think what little bit of residual smell the yarn has is from whatever, you know, it's just been absorbed into the yarn from this bag and the stuff that's in it. So I don't know what that's all about, but we'll air it out and then decide which route I'm going to go. So yeah, so basically I can choose between the purse, the scarf, and the elephant. I think I'll probably end up making the little elephant amigurumi. I don't really need another purse, and I'm not really interested in doing any more granny squares for a while. As far as the scarf and the fingerless gloves are concerned, I would not, that's not useful to me because I personally would not make items like this from cotton. All right. So let's move forward. So, you know, so we got our abbreviations in UK terminology. Now, what's good about this book is it actually gives you a conversion chart from UK over to US terminology. And then you have your conversion chart for your hooks. So that's handy. And I understand this comes on the back of all the books. So you always have that guide with you, especially here in the States if you're getting anything from UK or the EU. Okay, so this is a closer look at the handbag. And then, of course, I'm not going to show you, but the patterns for the handbag. Then they get into the cotton. I guess they're going to talk about the cotton. The Crochet Society Fresh Cotton is exclusive to this box. So if you want to make more of the patterns in your booklet, try one of these yarns instead. So this is something that Crochet Society does. Usually the yarn they get is specifically branded for them. But if you want to make another project or additional projects, they will give you a list of yarns that they feel are comparable to the yarn that you had in your box. So I guess this is what's telling me of what I should have had in my box. And it looks like I had everything I was supposed to in my box. Right down to the stuffing and the amigurumi eyes. Next, we're going to move on to the actual pattern for the scarf and fingerless gloves. So this picture right here is going to give you a better look at those gloves. So you can kind of see what they're supposed to look like. Next, they're going to show us the bonus pattern for this bedspread with these stars. So this is a cool little bedspread. That's nice. I can see a lot of kids really enjoying this, or maybe some older people too. But it's just kind of fun. That's cool. Then we're going to move over to the next elephant, Wilma the Woolly Elephant, the amigurumi. So this is what I think I will make. I don't know what I'll do with her, but I'll make her because she's the only pattern in this book that makes sense for me in terms of this kit. That's if this stuff can be aired out properly. Oh my God, it's killing me. Just sitting here talking to you about it, it's not. Wow. Yeah, my sinuses are not happy with me at all. Let me see if there's anything else I can show you. Okay. And then this back page is a page that's showing some of the past projects that have been offered up in these boxes. So you can see that there's been some really cute projects that have come in the past. And then I'm just getting on to more subscribe and save today kind of stuff. And that's about it for the box. So, yeah. I just don't even know what to say. It's just one disappointment after the other. And there's so much potential. So much potential. I've seen so many great pieces, from past boxes or, things that I thought would work out really well, on this channel. Things you might be interested in seeing too. But I guess we'll have to play it by ear. I no longer have high hopes. I have severe disappointment. And what makes the disappointment even worse is that the potential is here and it just feels so shoddy. Like the people just didn't even care. Or, they just pushed out whatever they thought they could get, just push out. I don't know. I don't want to get into it right now. What I will say is hold on just a moment and I will be back with a completed Wilma the Woolly Elephant. A quick update for you. A couple of days after I finished filming this video, I did finally receive my past boxes. Now, it turns out I was supposed to receive a total of 5 past boxes, but because of the issues that they had on their end, I was only going to be able to receive 3 past boxes. So the boxes I've received are box 40, box 45, and then of course the free gift box, which they gave me, was box 1. Now, I did open up these boxes and I did take a quick look just to make sure that there wasn't any issues like what I'm experiencing with this box 46. And there are none. All the pieces were there. Everything was clean. There was no off-gassing. There was no mildew. So I will be showing you those boxes in the coming weeks. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so this funky little elephant is finished. And I must say that I don't know exactly what brand of cotton yarn they gave us to make this with, but I really actually liked it. I don't know if it's because it's a finer weight. I know they call it a DK, but I'm going to say it's more of a 2 weight in my opinion. Now, the instructions were very clear. They were very straightforward. They were easy to follow. I didn't make any changes to the pattern except for one, and that was the scarf. So the scarf was basically in English terminologies, or rather US terminology, not English. We all speak English. But in US terminology, the scarf was made using half double crochets. And I wanted my scarf to have a little more texture, and there was plenty of the mango colorway yarn. So I used the star stitch and made the scarf using the star stitch. And then I also added these fringes just to give it a little more interest, give it a little more texture. And that's what I chose to do with my little elephant doll. Now, just keep in mind that, of course, they gave me some polyfill, some stuffing in my kit. And as I suspected, just by looking at it, I knew it wouldn't be enough. And of course, it wasn't enough. It was just enough polyfill to fill up the arms and the legs. So I really relied on my own stuffing for the rest of this elephant, and that's fine. And it's just kind of nice just to even get a little bit of polyfill. But I'm telling you that to give you a heads up. So it's not going to be enough polyfill. Also, the yarn itself, thankfully, was not terribly affected by that mildew and chemically off-gassing stuff that they had going on with this box. I have no idea what that was about. The yarn itself aired out quite quickly, so now it just smells like yarn. There's none of that residual mildewy smell. And that chemical off-gassing, that really pretty much came from the components of the purse, for the purse pattern. So that I'm still airing out. It's mostly aired out, but even several days later, it is still got a little bit of that smell, enough of it that I'm still trying to wait and see if it will off gas a little more before I actually pack it away with my stash of, findings and components and various different parts and pieces that I might use in a crochet project in the future. Now, the one thing I did have to do was the book, right? The instruction book. I was not able to hold on to that because that was just even 2-3 days later, that was still so strong with the mildewy smell. So I can only imagine, because it was laying on that bag that I think was the big culprit of all of this, laying on that bag, that it really absorbed and was strongly affected by the mildew itself. So I needed to throw that away because that was making me ill. I'm very sensitive to these things. And so it was really hard to have to try and read it while working on this piece because my eyes were watering and my throat was getting itchy and tingly and my nose would not stop running, i.e. it's the way I react to mold in an area or certain types of molds. So I can't deal with them. My immune system does not handle these molds well. And so that was horrific for me. That was horrible. But we got through it. And so I threw away the book, aired out my workspace, and everything's fine. Got rid of that bag initially. So that was the biggest problem, was that bag that the purse components came in. That was just horrible. So that got rid of that immediately. And the book, after a day, the instruction book after a day, was tolerable. It was only if I had to like flip a page or something, then it would kick up that mildew particles again, and I would start feeling the effects of it. So while I was using it for the couple of days it took me to get around to finishing this project, this elephant, as long as I didn't bump it or kick it or blow on it or any of those things, it was tolerable. I could work from it as far as the instructions were concerned, but it's gone and everything's fine, and the yarn seemed to not hold on to any of that, and the yarn wasn't affected by the mildew. So those are really good things, because I have lots of the yarn left over. And because I really liked this yarn, I was happy to have yarn that was left over. So I'm going to show you how much yarn I have left. Okay, so if you remember, these were 30-gram skeins of yarn. So I have two full 30 grams. I have 60 grams of this passion fruit, and then whatever was left from this skein. I then didn't use very much of the pink, so I'm going to guess I probably have, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 15 grams of the lychee. And then I used even less of this dragon fruit. So I think I probably have about 20 grams of the dragon fruit. And then, of course, the coconut color, I used very little of that as well. And so I'm going to say I probably have, there again, about 15 grams of the coconut left. And then for the elderberry, I have a full 30-gram skein. And then whatever is left of this, probably just a few grams. And then this is what I have left of the mango. So I used pretty much most of the mango. I probably have, I don't know, I'm going to guess and say 3, maybe 4 grams of the mango. So that's enough yarn to make a nice little accent or something on another project. So yeah, I mean, all in all, so the hooks that come with these kits, while it's kind of nice that they match, so far, you know, they're meh. They're not, you know, it's like they traded cute in for quality. And for me personally, I would rather have a quality hook than an arty looking hook any day. And that's just me. Other people have different preferences. The yarn with this kit, I'm really happy with the yarn, especially since I'm not a huge fan of most cotton yarns. So the cotton yarn that came in this kit was really nice for me to work with. And I really like the way it crocheted up the end result. So I have absolutely no complaints about the yarn. My big complaint came with whatever that off-gassing was and the mildew. I don't think the company really had anything to do with that. I don't know what the story was behind that. And with as long as it took for me to get the boxes from them, holy cow, I was not about to send this box back if I could mitigate much of the issues with this box by just allowing the pieces to sit and air out and do whatever off-gassing or drying out they needed to do in order for me to work with the pieces. So that's okay. Now, did I have a really very rocky start? Yes, I had a very rocky start, and I was very annoyed and so on the verge of just canceling my subscription altogether. But because the new boxes that they sent me that finally got here, they're clean. They don't have any of this mildew or off-gassing issue. Everything is there. Everything looks like it's complete. The yarns, because I've already looked, and, you know, because because of this experience. I've already looked before showing you guys. The yarn seems very nice and decent quality yarn. And I've taken a look at the patterns. Some of them I like, some of them not so much. But I will take decent quality yarn over a great pattern any day, because I can always alter the pattern a little bit. I can find a pattern that I like better. There's a lot of things I can do with a pattern, but there's not a lot of things I can do with changing the quality of a yarn. So there is that. Am I going to continue receiving boxes from Crochet Society? I think so. I think I'm going to continue getting them. They come every other month. I have these 3 past boxes, so you'll see a box each month. And so I have enough to give you a nice taste of what Crochet Society looks like for each month for the next several months. And we'll see. I'll monitor the situation. I'll see if maybe things level out, if maybe this was, a one-time issue where things just went completely foobar. I'll see if this is just a one-time thing or if this happens regularly for them. And then I'll reassess at a later date and consider whether I'll continue on with them. But for the next several boxes, probably for the next year, I'll continue receiving their boxes. And I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted on how I feel about it, and if it's something I'm going to continue to bring to you. Now, price. Okay, so we're going to talk price here. And the price of this box, because it is coming from Europe, is a little pricey, mostly because of the shipping, right? So the box itself, depending on what the exchange rate is, every other month when I pay for the box, I am looking at, I don't know, between $32 and $38 for the kit itself. And then the shipping. Now, mind you, it's a slow boat from China shipping. So that helps to mitigate the cost of the shipping, but you're going to have to be patient if you're here in the States. And that shipping tacks another $10 or so onto the cost of the box. So this is what you would be looking at if you decided to purchase this kit from Crochet Society yourself. All right, so with all that said, I want to wish all of you, until I see you again, a most wonderful and safe week. Bye-bye now.